Okay. Good evening, everyone. How are you all doing today? Trust you are doing well, wonderfully well. Okay. Welcome to today's very special session at the Leadership Mind School. All right. So if you're here, quickly let me know where you're streaming in from. The most unspoken. All right. Welcome, everyone. Okay, just a moment. Okay, good evening, dear viewers. Augustine, good evening. Welcome to tonight's live session. Augustine, you're the first in the house today. How's your day been? How have you been? Okay, Augustine, thank you. My sister, our admin, Chioma Chigozie, good evening and welcome. Welcome. Thank you, everyone. Trust you all are having a great day and a fabulous weekend. All right. So let's quickly take a moment to invite all our friends. Let's share the link. Let's quickly share the link to our friends across the social media platform. Trisha, you're early today. Good to see you. Welcome. Good evening. Okay, so I welcome all our dear viewers on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and the X channel. Thank you, every one of you, for keeping faith with us at the Leadership Mind School as we keep on transforming the leadership space as we are enabled to do. All right. So just a moment, please quickly send the link to your community, your various communities, your WhatsApp groups, all communities platform, and get somebody in the room as we deal with yet another very sensitive topic in humanity, not just, okay, baby Mila and mom, I've been trying to reach you. How are you? So try to reach out to me immediately after this session. At least let me see my little baby. I think that's my granddaughter. I can say that for free. All right. God bless you all. Thank you very much. So, without taking much time, today we are dealing with this topic that have been titled conflict resolution and difficult conversation. Okay, conflict resolutions and how to deal with difficult conversations. You will agree very much with me that most of us have a lot of difficult conversations that we've been avoiding. We've been shying away. Okay, Oluwa Fumilola say you look like Alex Ekubo. Hey, may his soul rest in perfect peace. Thank you, Fumilola. God bless you. May his soul rest in perfect peace. All right, so conflicts are inevitable in humanity. Conflict, anywhere you find humans, you must see conflicts. So anyone that is saying, I don't want conflict, I don't want trouble. In fact, the another definition, another word for conflict is like trouble. It's trouble. So conflict resolution and dealing with difficult conversations. It's my expectation that by the end of this teaching today, somebody will be inspired to take instant step in having that conversation that has been very difficult for you to have. Somebody will develop capacity towards resolving conflicts. Please listen. There are no conflicts that cannot be resolved. No conflict that cannot be resolved. So today you will learn how to handle tension with maturity and clarity. So let me take a moment to quickly recognize the presence of our dear community members. Wuraola, you are welcome on TikTok. Olubumi, you are welcome. Lydia, you are welcome. Esther, you are welcome. And on Facebook, we have Oluwa Itunu, Augustine, Chioma Chigozie, our admin, Sarah, Innocent, Titi Layo, you are welcome. Who else? Who else? On Facebook and YouTube, Abby. It's Abby. Happy Pride Month. Okay, thank you. Trisha, thank you. You're welcome. Wonderful, wonderful, great, and amazing people in the house. Thank you. So, okay, Augustine, you've started dropping in the comments. Thank you. I like that. As far as you are alive, trouble will come and go. Beautiful. So, our objectives are pretty clear this evening. Number one, remember again that at the Leadership Mind School, everyone has the capacity to be a leader. You are a leader, irrespective of your present current circumstances. You are a leader in your own right. Don't belittle yourself. No, because you have what it takes. And in any case, you are leading somebody, consciously or unconsciously. You are leading somebody. You may agree or not, but check it out. You are certainly leading somebody, either in your workplace, your community where you live, your religious body, your church, mosque, wherever. You are leading somebody. So the core objectives is to equip you, our dear leaders, with the mindsets and the right tools to handling conflicts effectively. Everything about conflict begins from the mind. That is why the mindset is very key to everything. How do you do that? You will also be taught how to communicate clearly and resolve tension without destroying relationships or performance. Virtually everyone has one unresolved conflict. Virtually, hardly will you find somebody that just have it all perfect. So let me do a quick poll. Let me run a quick poll here. For those of us on the call now, you agree with me that you have one conflict that you really need to resolve urgently. Just type in the comment section, yes, I have, or no. Yes, no, I just want that response. Quick one. You have a conflict that needs to be resolved. You've been thinking about it, it's been troubling you. If you do, just type yes. If you don't, please type no. Let's do a quick. Let's get a quick feedback. All right, family man, thank you. Olayinka, thank you. Everyone just joining us on TikTok, thank you. Sarah, you're welcome. Amaka, you are welcome. Chinozo, you are welcome. So quickly, who is the first to go? Patience, you are welcome. You have a conflict that you really want to resolve. Just type in the comment section yes. If you don't, type no. Because I believe that most humans, thank you, Sarah, for your honesty, your sincerity. Most of Chinyere, don't share. I don't have enough badge. Sorry about that. Okay, so you have a conflict that you really would want to be want it resolved as quick as possible. Just type in the comment section yes. If you don't, type no. Okay, so participants will learn, everyone on this call and those that will be watching this video after now would learn the root causes of conflicts. Please listen, conflicts are real. Just as challenges are real, whoever tells you you will go through life without any challenge, that is what you tell kids. That's falsehood. It's not true. So the same way, every relationship, every union, every partnership, there are most likely to be moments of conflict. So you will be learning one, the root causes of conflicts. What are the root causes? What causes conflicts? Then how to manage difficult conversations. Some of us are not ignorant of the root causes of our conflicts, but we are afraid, we are avoiding, we are scared. We don't want to confront these issues that are confronting us or that we are faced with. Whatever you don't confront will hardly get resolved. What you don't confront, you will hardly get resolved. So every leader, you must know this, every leader, irrespective of your community, irrespective of where you are leading, what you are leading, every leader will face moments of tension. Every relationship will face period of tension. You will face moments of disagreements, period of disagreements, and period where partners will need to engage in difficult conversations, tough conversations. But see, it is your maturity in those moments that will determine your influence, will determine your credibility, and will determine your results. So, dear friends, conflicts are real. Conflicts are real, but they are there for a reason. They are there to be resolved. No relationships exist without conflict. No relationship exists without conflict. So what conflicts? What are the conflicts around you? So as a leader, the first thing is to identify the root causes of conflicts, because everything about leadership begins from foundation, begins from the very foundation. So what's conflict resolution? You know, I I studied peace and conflict resolution at the master's level, and as times evolved, I started having better understanding on the essence of going that route. Because life, in fact, we are in a conflicting world, conflicts everywhere. People know the truth, but they are unable to engage in conversations that surround the truth. People know the truth, but they choose to believe their own truth, which is falsehood. So, conflicts, what is conflict resolution? Conflict resolution, simply put, is the process of addressing disagreements, meaning people people must disagree. In some parlance, thank you, patience, they will tell you we disagree to agree, right? Have we heard that comment before? We disagree to agree. So conflict resolution is the process of addressing disagreements constructively, constructively for the purpose of achieving clarity and alignment. So the issue is not really about the conflict, but the root causes. Because without knowing the purpose, the root cause, there is no way you will be able to deal with the fruits of the issues. This is why, Ajayi, you are welcome. Thank you, Doreen, you are welcome. Someone else came into the room again. Ukamaka Blessing, you are welcome. All right, so let's keep the comments coming. So this particular topic is so dear to me because you will be hearing some mouth-watering words, life experiences. You know, Nana said conflict resolution is the situation whereby you use whatever method to settle dispute or conflict. Thank you very much for that comment. So you to achieve clarity when conflicts arise, what's the end game? What do you want out of it? It is conflict that brings about the need for difficult conversations. I think the most important aspect of this, because the world virtually knows conflict resolution, we have mediators, we have arbitrators, but difficult conversations for me is the key in it. Difficult conversations, these are high stakes discussions, very high stakes discussions, where emotions, opinions, and outcomes matters deeply. Difficult. Again, most of us have some difficult conversations that we really need to have in order to move forward. Ufan, thank you. You are welcome. So, understanding the nature of conflicts is the first segment of our teaching today. The past 15 minutes thereabout, I just gave us a deep intro into the subject matter. So what are the sources of conflicts? In this segment, we are trying to deal with the roots. The root is understanding, having knowledge, the grasp of the issue. What are the root, what the sources of conflicts? Number one source of conflict is miscommunication. Mis, you know, just miscommunication. When information are not properly communicated, either intentionally or otherwise. Secondly, is unmet expectations. When between leaders and followers, or people in a relationship or a partnership, business or otherwise, have a situation whereby what they expected of each other, the other party fell short of it. That is unmet expectations. What's the expectation, or what are the expectations of those under in your team? What's the expectation of your leader concerning what you are doing? The third one is ego and pride. Ego and pride. These are sources of conflict. A proud man will always be involved in conflict, difficult conflicts. A proud man will always resist difficult conversations, even when they are the source of the need for the conversation. A man with ego will always shy away. So now a quick question to every one of you. If you are having challenges, if you're having any challenge in engaging in confronting difficult conversations, it's either you are filled with ego and pride. You see, one thing I've discovered very recently is those filled with ego, those filled with pride, they seem not to even know, they are not aware. That's why in a teaching I had, was it yesterday or so, with some persons, I said, look, everyone needs to put what I call pride checkers. You need to put it in place, especially when you begin to do well beyond your expectation. You have to set in place what I call pride checkers that will help checkmate you should in case you begin to go overboard. So lack of clarity is another source of conflict. When things are ambiguous, things are not clear to those who need to understand the situation. So lack of clarity and differing values. Everyone has what you stand for may not necessarily be what Mr. B stands for. So lack of differing values. Floxy, you are welcome. So values, when parties have different values, it could be a source of conflict. In any case, listen please, most conflicts are not necessarily about the issue. Most conflicts are not about the issue. Sometimes you see parties quarreling, they're having, but the main thing in between them is not what they are saying. It's not what they are saying. So most conflicts are not about the issues. They are about perception and communication. As a matter of fact, majority of the conflicts people are having, if you go deeper into it, is not necessarily about the issues being portrayed. It's not necessary or are not necessarily about the issues being talked about. So this is why viewers must understand very well. You must be able, when conflict is rising up, where you notice conflict developing or something is getting to a stage of needing to have difficult conversations, then you get back and assess. Was there a miscommunication? Are there unmet expectations? Is there ego and pride? Am I having lack of clarity on the subject matter? Do we have different values? When you are able to assess or diagnose these sources or the source of conflict, resolution becomes easy. So where clarity is missing, conflict is inevitable. I tell you the truth, on a personal note, most conflict situations that I've been involved with in, I discover that they are largely as a result of lack of clarity. Maybe you just got into a relationship with someone, things are not clear, you are just moving. In terms of business, in terms of economy, in terms of whatever relationship, where things are not properly clarified, conflicts is inevitable. Now, please think about this now. I want you to do a deep reflection on this. What kind of conflicts do you experience the most? What kind of conflict? Okay, let me do a quick one. Let me see who is active on the call now. So I want a quick response to this. What kind of conflicts? If you are on the call, type something in the comment section. Let me see you now. Thank you. What kind of conflicts do you experience the most? This reflective question is very sensitive because it's about a pattern. And when patterns are not checked, they becomes habitual. And what becomes habitual can become destructive. For instance, you are always having conflicts with people on the account of your blind trust. You just trust people because you trust yourself. Then you need to check it and stop working based on blind trust to documented trust. Because some persons will not lead you into a conflict where there is clarity. Clarity helps to keep parties under check. Usman, you are welcome. Thank you for the good job you are doing. Thank you. Okay, so we must understand that what kind of conflicts am I usually having? If you are the one that cannot be trusted, then you should know the need to build and develop your trust level, because you can only progress in leadership to the extent you can be trusted. You can only progress in leadership. Hi, live. Good evening on TikTok. Good evening, Mr. Osage. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Thank you, everyone. So let's proceed. In the second segment of this teaching, we shall be dealing with the principles for handling difficult conversations. Like I said earlier, the most important aspect of conflict resolution is the aspect of holding difficult conversations. I've heard people say that over their dead bodies, will they engage? Will they go into a conversation? In any case, those who shy away from conversations, no matter how difficult it may be in mediation, are largely already being troubled by their conscience. So, what are the common reasons why leaders avoid difficult conversations? Sincerely, it's not easy engaging in conversations that are likely to ruffle you, that are likely to bring down your ego, that are likely to pinch into your pride. So, number one reason is the fear of confrontation. The fear of confrontation. Most leaders they don't want to be confronted with the truth. They don't want to be confronted with realities. That's why when you go look at the Western world, leaders engage their followers almost on a natural basis. But in the developing world, the followers are begging their leaders, we want to see you, we want to talk to you. It's almost difficult, except when it comes to the electioneering period, as we are getting into in Nigeria and some other West African nations. So fear of confrontation, confrontation with the truth, confrontation is what sets leaders apart from one another. Any leader that shies away from confrontation has his or her leadership questionable. Certainly questionable, because a leader is a servant, is not a ruler. I think at this point it's important to re-emphasize that leaders are not rulers. Leaders are not users. Leaders, as a matter of fact, are servants of the people. They are only privileged to be at the front. So the desire to be liked, it's another reason why leaders avoid difficult conversations. They want to be liked at all times by all means possible. So they don't want to hear a dissenting voice. The third reason why leaders avoid difficult conversations is the emotional discomfort. Because you see, there is something about the truth that pinches the heart of a liar. There is something about the truth that pinches, that punches the heart of a liar. The worst of leadership, the worst of leadership is having leaders who tell lies. The worst of leadership. Like someone said, it would, a famous American artist said, he would prefer a thief than a liar. Powerful statements. And they asked him why. He said, a thief will only take away my possession, but a liar can transform my identity with lies, can tell people who I am not with the power of a tongue. So, whereas the thief, whatever the thief stole, you can replace. In fact, the police could even get the person arrested. But the leader who lies can destroy destinies and destroy generation, and at the end of it, destroy themselves. So that's why I tell people, if you lack the capacity to be truthful, please don't seek the position of a leader. If you lack the capacity to be honest, please don't go near leadership position, because it will destroy people and it will destroy you. All right, so let's proceed. So leaders, why leaders avoid difficult conversation again is because of lack of communication. Lack of communication skills. Most leaders obviously lack good communication skills. And what you don't know, you can always learn. That is why pride and ego they are robbers of leadership. They are robbers of destiny, because it is pride that will make you not to learn what you are supposed to learn and when you are supposed to learn it. It is ego that will make you to assume you know what you yourself know that you don't know. That is ego. Overestimating yourself beyond yourself and beyond your ability. Please listen. Avoidance may protect comfort. Some people avoid difficult conversation. Some people in conflict avoid the conflict. They want it resolved, but they don't want to confront it. Avoiding it may protect your comfort, but it destroys your leadership. Avoiding to resolve conflicts may look okay, just like you are in your comfort zone, but at the end, it will destroy your person, it will destroy leadership, and it will destroy your effectiveness. My brother Abel, you are welcome. Francis, you are welcome. So let's do a quick one for those already on the call: Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Please drop in the comment section. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're streaming from, and anything you feel uh, our community needs to know about you. So take a moment and showcase yourself. Remember, this is a global leadership school session, and also you never can tell. Networking is always any opportunity to network is opportunity that leaders must take advantage of. So let's have the comment section buzzing with your intro of yourself and also perhaps what you do. Please listen to this, very important. The conversation, the conversation you avoid today becomes the problem you face tomorrow. The conversation, the conflicts, first, the conflict you avoid, you refuse to solve, to resolve today. The conversation you refuse to have today will become the problem that will haunt you tomorrow. People are suffering from avoidable situation today. People are spending a lot on what one conversation can resolve because of pride, because of ego, because of lack of wisdom. Again, what is that difficult conversation? What's that conflict within you, within your organization, that you really need to engage today? Again, let me rephrase this. The conversation you refuse, the conversation you avoid today, the conversation you avoid today will become the problem you will face tomorrow. Please, if this is one thing you get from this teaching today, this session today, please write it down, take it down, and work it out. I always tell people, I say, talk will not kill you. It won't destroy you. No. The highest you will get is a no, is a negative response. But engage it, make an attempt. They may laugh at you, they may mock you, they may run you down, but let it be on record that an attempt from your end was made. And if you are the one that have been rejecting the difficult conversation, get courage. Face what's facing you. Thank you, Amaka, fashion designer watching from Abuja. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's proceed. Now, I hope you are all enjoying the session this evening. So if there's still someone you need to tag, share the link to your friends, your WhatsApp groups, your timeline, your story. Let's do it and let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Now, the third segment of this teaching, we shall be teaching about principles for handling difficult conversations. I tell you the truth, most people all across the world have one difficult conversation or the other that they have been shying away from. And I do hope that you will always remember this, that the conversation you avoid today will become the problem you face tomorrow. Some persons are having problems today because of the conversation they avoided or they thought they were avoiding yesterday. Good, beautiful. So, principles for handling difficult conversation. Number one, always have clarity over emotion. Please, we cannot overemphasize the need for clarity. Where things are unambiguous, where things are clear, things are easy. Where things are clear, things are easy. But where things are shrouded in mystery, things are a bit difficult because things are not open. That's why the best of leaders are the leaders who are open to their followers, are leaders who lay bare for followers to see, to learn, and to know. So, clarity, don't be emotional in your leadership pursuits. Don't be more clear than being emotional. Secondly, focus on facts. When resolving conflicts, focus on facts and not feelings. Of course, as humans by now and as adults, we should know. We should know. Thank you, Mama Fabiano. That's true. The conversation you refuse today becomes problem tomorrow. Yes, yes. It can never be better than that. So focus on facts. You see, as adults, I was saying earlier, we are oftentimes misled by emotions. But you see, as business people, those of you that are in the business world, you will agree with me that you don't take business decisions based on how you feel. No, if you do that, you crumble your business. You take business decision based on facts and available data. The same way, because leadership is life. You don't go into conflict resolution looking at feelings with feelings. This person is this one. No, you go in picking the facts. What's the facts? Leaders who dwell on facts over and above feelings always do better and do greater. Leaders who thrive on emotion over empirical data always fail in their leadership. We must develop leaders who will rise up with eyes fixed, focused on what the data says. What the data is saying. You see, in the third world nations, Africa, Nigeria, nations are still manipulating data, census, population census. They are still manipulating it. Based on this side must show, say, they have the highest population data. So how do you plan for nation building when as a nation you cannot even say as a matter of fact that this is the population, where data coming out of a system is questionable? So we must understand very clearly that you cannot take decisions on feelings but on facts. Principles for handling difficult, because you see, as leaders, One of the attributes of leadership is your ability to solve difficult problems, complex problems. Listen, you are not a leader by title. It is not the money you have that makes you a leader. What makes you a leader ultimately are the problems you solve. Are the problems you solve the people you lift up. Some persons are more of a leader to some people than their state governors, than their presidents. Because why? That's the president they know. That's the governor they know. So address issues early. Let this be a key principles for handling difficult conversations. You see me, by the grace of God, there is no conversation I will ever run away from. I cannot, no, ain't no genuine leader runs away from conversation, how be it, no matter how difficult it is. As a matter of fact, I'm eager to walk into difficult rooms, into complex rooms to have conversations, deep conversations, because the deep that calleth unto the deep. The deeper you go in conversations, the higher you rise in leadership. The deeper you go in having difficult conversations, the higher you rise in leadership. We must understand these facts, that addressing issues early is a key principle. Don't delay, will only make it worse. You know, it's amazing how leaders just wish problems will just go away. Problems will just go away. Recently, over the week, I was having a conversation with some leaders somewhere, and I said, just trying to give an insight into why and how it's important to addressing issues. And I said, if you have a wound on you, what happens? Knowing the mindset of the leader, Eribo citing you are welcome from the UK, thank you on TikTok. Knowing the mindset of the leader I was speaking to, I said, what happens? He said, sometimes the wound will go on its own. I said, what of the other time? He hesitated because he knew where the conversation was going. I said, the wound will increase. So delay of most times makes it worse. So learn, inculcate the habits of addressing issues early. Personally, for me, I have this mantra: whatever I can do today, I don't want to ever leave it to wait till tomorrow. Because today is given, tomorrow is not guaranteed. Leave tomorrow's trouble for tomorrow and deal with today's issue. Again, I repeat, any leader that shies away, that runs away from addressing difficult conversation without prejudice to anyone is not worth being called a leader. Because leadership is a call to responsibility. And I will say this again, I am excited when I'm called into difficult conversations, because the problems you solve, the complex problems you solve, those are the keys that increase the metrics that increases your rating in the school of leadership. You know, pilots are rated by the number of hours they fly, not by how old they are, by the numbers of hours they fly. The same way, leaders are rated by the complexity of problems they solve. Again, in this session, your leadership will be judged likely by those you helped to rise. and the problems you are able to resolve. So I'm sure someone here, you should be eager now. Those difficult conversations you've been struggling to have, you will be emboldened to having those conversations and resolving all issues because they are not really worth it in any case. Thirdly, be direct, but in most cases, be respectful. As Africans, even when people, the elders, when they even hurt you, they still demand respect from you. But there are many ways to making your case with being respectful, but don't sacrifice the truth for respect. No, never. Thank you, Augustine. Never you sacrifice the truth in the name of respect. Respect should not replace truth. Okay, let's talk on TikTok. You run from difficult conversation a lot because it gives discomfort. Yes, in that discomfort, I'm responding to a feedback on TikTok. Please, let's keep them coming. That discomfort, that's what you need to fly in leadership. Because if you are always comfortable, you will not rise. You will not rise beyond your normal terrain. Thank you for that comment, and I'm sure the light I've given us will also be helpful to you. Okay, so another principle of handling difficult conversation is please be direct. Don't let anyone gag you. Don't let anyone silence your voice. Speak when you should speak and be direct but respectful. Again, a caveat on the respect because people are quick to calling out your disrespect, but they are slow to calling out the cause. And there is this very strong key of the law of cause and effect. People choose to ignore the cause. They choose to ignore the cause, but choose to amplify, magnify the effects, forgetting that without a cause, there can be no effect. So we must understand truth, tell truth with maturity. Now, another principle for handling difficult conversation is listen actively. Listen actively and be sure that you understand before responding. Yes, Adaogo Joy say, please be direct. Don't be silent by anyone. Speak when you are supposed to speak, but with respect. Thank you. So you must listen, be a good listener. Don't, when you are supposed to listen attentively, actively. Understand before responding. Also, focus on solutions, not blame. Conflicts are inevitable in relationships. But, however, conflicts are to be resolved. No matter how difficult the conversations are, get into the room, have the conversations. Most times, for whatever reason, those who run away from the conversation room have something to hide in their hearts. Most cases, those who run, who shy away from the conversation room have something probably they are hiding. So the goal is not to win the argument. Once there is a conflict, the next thing is resolution. It is to solve the problem, not who is the winner or who is the loser. Because in any case, conflict not well managed will be disastrous for all parties, will be disastrous to all parties, especially the aggressor, the party of the instigator of the conflict. So, mature leaders solve problems. Mature leaders are looking for problems to solve. But immature leaders, they win arguments from behind. They talk from behind. They speak to those who they know they have their ears. They speak to those who are under their control. Mature leaders solve problems. Mature leaders are not afraid to enter into difficult conversations. Sorry, without prejudice to anyone, but it should charge you up. Immature leaders run, shy away. They excuse themselves from difficult conversations to resolving conflict that were even started by them. So we must understand that conflicts are real. Resolving them are equally real. And as a leader, you are called to resolving conflicts and resolving them as immediate, as quickly as possible. All right. Thank you. Graver, you are welcome. Okay, so what then are the steps to resolving conflicts effectively? Wow, wow, wow. Conflicts are real. Number one, you must define the issue clearly. Because every conflict has a cause. Atman, please. In law, they call them meddlesome interlopers. When a conflict you cannot resolve, please don't interfere. A conflict you are not interested in resolving, please don't take sides. TikTok, what's going on? Okay, I think the TikTok is back. A conflict you are not equipped, you are not willing to resolve, don't interfere. Interference could be in a manner of taking sides. And as a matter of fact, it's elementary knowledge that you cannot resolve a conflict when both parties are apart. You cannot resolve a conflict without hearing from both sides. So, what are the steps to, in fact, I think after this class, you should be given a certificate in conflict resolution. What are the steps to resolving conflicts effectively? First, discover, define. It's just like running a diagnosis. Define the issue clearly and be able to identify what exactly is the problem. Remember, I said earlier that experience have shown that parties in conflicts, oftentimes don't reveal the cause of the conflict. You can't see it at the surface level. You need to get inside That's why in law, you see, when you go to court, questions, cross-examinations. Inside, the judge is watching to get the facts of the issue before passing judgment. So you must hear all sides and all perspectives. Listen to this. Whatever makes you run into conclusion without hearing from all sides in a conflict, you are already biased. You are already biased. So listen without interruption. Look in between the lines. Read in between the lines. Look at the verbal and the non-verbal communication. When resolving conflicts between parties, you must listen, you must hear all parties, you must hear all. Resolving conflict is work, big time work. With due respect to my amazing couple, if you get to ever see this video or if you are alive now, many years ago, a great wonderful couple, where it was like this was the end. No, I'm going, I'm leaving. Everywhere was like, including myself. Many years ago, over 10 years ago, I guess, this thing happened. Including myself in the middle of it to resolve. I just sat down and listened. It was almost an all night of listening to two adults. And the fact that I listened was able to quench the fire that was in the home. You cannot resolve conflict without willing to pay the price. You see, most people look for the easy way out. No, no, sir. There are no easy way out in leadership. You must put in the work. And especially when it comes to conflict resolution, when it comes to engaging difficult conversations, you must put in the time. I think that was the day before the academic one. That was the day I got my practical certification in conflict resolution, because it was almost like from 7 p.m. to like 6 a.m. And by the help of God, that was it. This one talk, the other one talk. And at the end, I think God took control. But you must listen effectively to both parties. You must be able to align facts. Don't displace them. Separate truth from assumption. People just assume things. People just assume that you are with somebody publicly known, influential. People assume that everything you do is at their instance. So when such claims are made against you, people assume without even not wanting to hear from you. So you must separate truth from assumption. And in any case, if you are truly sensitive, when you listen to both parties, you should be able to tell the truth from the lies, to separate the fact from assumptions. So also, you must agree to find common ground. You must agree on solution to find common ground. Again, I repeat, once there is a conflict, the next thing is a resolution. Is how to solve it. That should be in the mind of everyone, because every day, any day that passes with conflict unresolved is a day of escalation. and you never can tell to what extent it will escalate to. So we must agree to find common ground and follow through it by ensuring accountability. Leaders must be accountable not only to themselves but to their followers. You must be accountable not only to yourself but also to your followers. So resolution. Thank you, Doreen. You must agree on solution. Yes, resolution requires structure and not emotion. Resolution. My brother King Obas, you are welcome. Thank you. Good evening, my great brother. Thank you. Thank you. So, resolution all across the world. Look at it today. Conflicts everywhere. Conflicts everywhere. But the moment parties are able to come together to the table, resolutions, people begin to find solutions. You cannot find a solution to a problem you are unable to discuss. You cannot find a solution to a problem you are unable to discuss, to share. So, difficult conversations is the plane that leaders fly on. Difficult conversations is the plane that leaders fly on. My great brother, the great comedian King Obas on TikTok, I acknowledge your presence. Thank you for joining us. So, thank you, everyone. We are live on YouTube, Facebook, and X, and on TikTok. I can see you all doing very well, especially the Facebook community. Thank you. As we proceed in the next few minutes, we shall be wrapping up and we'll be taking your questions. Please, I want to take your questions. If you have additional comments, just drop them in the comment section, and it will be my privilege to even read out your comments and respond to your questions. Thank you, every one of you. So, clarity. Clarity resolves what emotions complicate. Emotions complicate leadership, but clarity simplifies it. In anything you do as regards leadership, please make it clear, make it open. Where things are clear, conflict hardly exists. But where things are not clear, conflict will be so much in such environments. So, conflict resolution should be the anchor point of all leaders. Gloria Fa, thank you. Good evening, and God bless you too. Thank you for the comment. All right, so please, if you are watching on TikTok, please ensure you like. On YouTube, anywhere you are watching, ensure you drop a like. If you are yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, to our TikTok, Facebook, on X, please ensure you do that and share this link. You never can tell who this subject will benefit. The topic of conflict resolution is a global one. Nations are involved in conflict, family members in conflict, individuals, business, everywhere, conflict. So what's the next way? What's the gateway to resolving conflict, and especially difficult conversations? Some persons are in decades of conflict that few minutes of difficult conversation will resolve. So tonight, my huge expectation is that you are emboldened to engage in that difficult conversation and get yourself out of that murky waters of conflict. So thank you very much for joining. And in closing, please listen. Don't hide. God, I beg. Clarity resolves what emotions complicates. Number one, don't hide under issues. Don't hide under the real issues in your heart to create conflict. Some people hide. The real thing in their heart is not the source, is the root cause of the conflict. But what they say is just the elementary part of it. So don't hide beneath an issue. That's why some conflict can hardly be resolved. Sometimes I tell people that this conflict cannot be resolved except this person takes responsibility, because what is not revealed cannot be known. So your leadership is not tested. Leaders, I'm a leader, good, but your leadership is not tested when things are easy. No, it is tested when tension rises. People will tell you, I don't have problem with anybody, I don't have anything, I don't do this, I don't do that. But when tension rises, that is when your leadership is revealed. When tension. So how do you handle conflicts? How you handle conflicts reveals your level of leadership. I was in a conflicting situation for over a year recently with someone, and I kept reaching out. Resolve this, resolve, because you see, unresolved conflicts, like I said earlier, the conflict you refuse to resolve today will become the problem you will face tomorrow. It's not rocket science, it is reality. What you face to address today is the problem you will face tomorrow. So, for me and from me to you, please, the highlight of today's teaching is that you leave this session fully equipped with the tools to resolving every conflict that exists within your network, and resolving them timelessly, resolving them instantaneously, quickly, as to the best of your knowledge and your ability. So I want at this, in the next few 3-4 minutes, let's have your question so we can quickly respond to them, or drop your beautiful, beautiful comments. Chioma said from Facebook, she said the conflict would keep lingering. That's the truth. Unresolved conflicts are the root cause of tensions in our society, of the wars everywhere. Unresolved conflict. Unresolved conflict. It's like cancer that eats deep, 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 and deeper into the heart of everyone and anyone. Please don't forget, while I wait for your questions and your further comments, the conversation you avoid today becomes the problem you will face tomorrow. The conversation you avoided yesterday is the cause of the problem you are facing right now. So, deal with difficult conversations so that you can come out of difficult circumstances. You can always drop your comments and questions, and our team will always respond to them. Thank you very much. And I want you to drop in the comment section, I will, as a way of signing out of today's session, I will handle conflicts with maturity, with clarity, and with purpose. Please type it in the comment section. Everybody, let me see you on TikTok, Facebook. Let's go. I will. Okay. I will handle. God's time. How are you doing? I will handle. Okay, I will handle conflict. I will handle conflict. Okay. Thank you, Ahmed, for joining on TikTok. All right. So every Saturday, we are always live every Saturday, 8 p.m. Central European Time, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. So, by the grace of God, we've been committed to this for over 6 months now, and we hope to continue and even expand so that we can open up the leadership mind school teaching for everyone. So thank you, Fabiano. Thank you, the great mama. Thank you. Okay, I will handle Doreen. Thank you for that. So everyone, Ismail on TikTok, everyone put it there. I will handle conflicts with maturity, clarity, and purpose. Good. With maturity. I'm typing mine now, so let's do that. You know, there is power in communication. Your typing is communicating. So as you're typing it, is being engraved in your heart with maturity, yes, clarity, and purpose. And purpose. So thank you, everyone. So looking forward to seeing you next Saturday. God bless you and enjoy the rest of your day. Every day we have our daily teachings published on our Facebook page. So ensure you are part of the Facebook. Always drop your comments, share your thoughts. Our admins periodically will always we do their best to respond to your comments, and always share our content to your various community. So let's keep expanding the Leadership Mind School to our various communities. And thank you very, very much once again for joining this live session today. And I look forward to seeing you next Saturday.